Hey guys, do you know any young adults who have started into life maybe on a mission or at college or the workforce and just kind of weren't very successful at it? I know lots of them, and it's happening more and more. I'm seeing it thousands and thousands of youth, good youth, educated youth, going into adult life and they're just failing to launch. And it's tough, and I understand it, and it's hard, and it's heartbreaking, and I want to help. And there's ways to help and prevent that and prepare for it. Look, see, the world is changing, man. Things are changing so drastically, and so we have to change, we have to adjust, and we have to prepare our youth. So there's four main reasons this is happening. I've been working with youth now for over 20 years, and I work with them closely. I'm mentoring, coaching all the time with families, and so I see this really on a daily basis. Number one reason is they're not prepared to do hard things. Now that's the interesting thing about hard stuff is that it's hard, and it takes a lot of grit and a lot of toughness, mental toughness, physical toughness, emotional toughness, social toughness, and the skill set, which I'll get into in a minute, of how to actually work through that. But like in all the adventures I've done, all the crazy things I've done in my life, even I was out on my own at 16, and I've done amazing adventures and difficult things. I found there's only one way to become tough, and that's to do hard things. And so we're failing to help young people do enough difficult things to prepare them to handle the really difficult things that they're going to face when they become adults. And so a lot of them are facing those difficult things. They try for a little bit and they're like, I'm out. I can't hack this. And they go back home, or they stop, or they quit, or they fail. And we don't want to do that. We want to help them back up, help them get back in and give them those same skills. And we want to prepare our young children, our youth, so that doesn't happen to them. And the way to do that is to get them doing really hard things, challenging things that are challenging mentally, physically, emotionally, socially, spiritually, financially. I mean, it's all around facing hard things. And with the best of intentions, many parents have actually done our children a gigantic disservice by providing them a really good life, because that equates to a really easy life. And we made it too easy for them. And what's interesting is we often think, well, no, I had them do hard things. But like the whole standard of what's actually hard and hard has come way off, because we live in such an affluent, abundant, easy time. And life is so good right now that little things seem really hard. And so all of us, just kind of as a mindset and as a culture and as our own family cultures, our own personal cultures, we have to set a new standard or a new normal of what's really hard. And so the more we get our youth and our children, the people we're influencing and leading, doing harder and harder and harder and harder things, the more they're going to be prepared. So I do this with my own children. And I just gently, from the time they're little, I just turn up that knob of difficulty until my kids are doing incredibly difficult things for me, with me. And I'm doing it with them. So I'm always leading by example. They have never, there's never been a time in their lives when they've not seen me pushing, big time pushing my limits. And the youth I mentor are the same. Whenever I'm asking them to do a challenge, I'm always going farther and harder. And so I'm leading by example. And we need to get our youth following great examples. We need mentors and heroes and leaders like them, great role models. And so sit down, like pen and paper, with your youth, with your spouse, whoever, and like map out really hard things you're gonna do. And I'm talking crazy hard. Like I took one of my sons up to the base camp of Mount Everest, and you trek for many days up to almost 18,000 feet. That's tough. My boys right now are training vigorously and hard. We're gonna go climb a big gnarly mountain, and it's gonna be so hard. Those things are grueling. Wilderness has the ability to teach us hard things, but learning a really difficult skill, getting in uncomfortable social situations, which I always make my kids do, and my mentees, learning languages, and just going after it all in, right? Going to places, doing things that are uncomfortable and hard and challenging. Make that a regular part of your life, so that when your kids launch into life, they get there and they're like, man, this is tough. And you're like, but I've done hard things. right? And if they can do that mentally, they can get there and go, man, this is hard, but I've done hard things. Then they can push through it. If they get out there and they're, geez, I've never had to face anything like this. This is horrible. I just want to go back home where it's easy. That's where we have a problem. So that's number one. Okay, got to face hard things. Number two, and this is the part of number one, they all kind of play together. Number two, the biggest problem is entertainment. We live in this day of entertainment, and it's become like the thing we seek after and do. And for a lot of people, the majority of their life is spent in entertainment. That's what they do. That's how they live. That's their life. We all do it, myself included. We just are constantly seeking entertainment. And entertainment is everywhere. And it's like what brought down the fall of the Roman Empire was called panem and circenses, was bread and circuses. I mean, it was as long as they had food and entertainment, the populace would just do whatever. And we live in that age where we got plenty of abundance and tons of entertainment, and we're being entertained at every moment of every day. And anytime there's a break, anytime there's a lull, we want entertainment. And we can't be bored. We can't have a down. There has to be constant music or constant movies, or even have the TV on in the background. I mean, there's got to be something going all the time so that we can have our entertainment. And the problem with that is that our youth, and you guys, anyone that's like 25 or 30 and under, they don't know any different. That's been their whole world. And for a lot of youth right now that are going into adulthood, like from the time they were tiny, they've had, either the TV on or an iPad or a phone or some kind of entertainment. And they're used to that. And so now when it's time to go to work and the entertainment's off, it's tough. When it's time to go on a mission or to college, and it's not entertainment time anymore, it's go time, they're not used to it. And so one of the solutions that I suggest for the families I work with, mentees, for my own children, is we have lots of time without entertainment, right? We're reading good books, sometimes challenging books. We're out in nature, we're serving, we're working on projects, we're developing skills. We have a whole bunch of good things that we're consistently working on, goals, objectives. Like we're constantly engaged in something really good, instead of just like, what should we do? Like, let's get some entertainment, right? And so, you guys, and I love entertainment, right? And my kids love entertainment, and it's good, it's fun. Let's have a fun, enjoyable life. I'm all about it. No one's ever going to accuse me of not having fun in life. But we've got to limit entertainment. And so if we want to prepare our children for adulthood, we've got to limit entertainment. Now, many of us as parents are like, they're turning to entertainment for our kids. Like, oh, they're acting up or they're fighting or whatever. Entertainment, show, game, whatever, boom. And we turn entertainment, and we're training them. If something's hard, if something's uncomfortable, if it's a long flight or airport or a long drive, boy, turn to entertainment, turn to entertainment, turn to entertainment. What happens when that youth, their entire lives have been trained to turn to entertainment, get into a place where it's time to work and face difficulty, push through hard things, they want to turn to entertainment. And turning to entertainment in those situations will lead to failure. And so, limit entertainment. All right, number three, closely related to number two, is addiction and distraction. And it is the age of entertainment. It is the age of distraction. We have distractions coming from every angle, from commercials to alerts to alarms to notifications. I mean, it's just constant ads and messages. I mean, constant. There's this influx, this flood of distraction all the time, which is leading to addiction, screen addiction, and of course, substance addictions and all kinds of other addictions. And this constant flow of distraction has really limited, again, everything that's happening to us is training our brains. Isn't this stuff fascinating, you guys? Are you enjoying this stuff? I love it. I hope you're taking notes and having some ahas for yourself and for your family. Okay, here's some things we got to adjust. But the constant distractions, literally, we're just training our brains. And so we train them for distraction, but think about a brain, just kind of imagine this in your mind, a brain that has been completely trained to distraction. Well, now what are its limitations? It's limited on its ability to focus and to dig in and stay focused as long as it needs to until the task gets done, right? But a brain that's constantly trained on distraction, well, it's just it tries to focus. It's off. Can't do this, and gets back focused. Off and off, and then you're on YouTube 2 hours later watching a cat video, going, "What was I doing?" Right? I mean, this is crazy stuff. And so the addictions and distractions, and again, once it becomes an addiction, it's mental and physical. I just did a video on addiction and how to overcome it, so look at that video. But like if we get into addiction and distraction, and that's kind of our way of being and the habits and the training we have here, it's incredibly difficult for that to happen. So again, take this awesome youth, super good, maybe has a great education, maybe has great musician skills and all these other great habits. They're smart, they're brilliant, they're talented, they're beautiful or handsome, and they're just ready, but they've been trained with addiction and distraction, and they go into the workplace, into college, into a mission or whatever it is, an internship, whatever. What are they going to do? They're going to constantly be in thinking about the addiction or the distraction, or unable to focus and continue to stay the course, especially when it's hard. Things get tough and challenging. Oh, the distraction. Or they haven't trained themselves to block out the distractions to get done what needs to get done. That's another reason many great youth are failing, and we've got to eliminate distraction and addiction from our homes. And in that other video, watch that; it'll help. Next is skill set. Every single problem we have in life, like check this out, this is huge. Every single problem we have in life is related to our skill set. That's a big, bold statement. I know it and I believe it. If it's a relationship problem, the vast majority of us have gotten to the limit of our current relationship skill set. And we don't know that, right? We don't know it's a limitation. We just think, oh man, this is really bad. It's not working. It's horrible. It's not, this. What happens is we get to the limit of our own skill set and we don't know how to handle it after that. If it's a financial problem, we get to the limit of our financial skill set. If it's a physical problem, if it's a spiritual problem, if it's a mental educational problem, if it's an emotional problem, right? Tons, like crazy amounts of now emotional problems. Like they're reporting from the universities and colleges that their counselors are just overbooked like crazy because students now are getting to college and don't have the emotional skill set to process the difficulty, the challenge, the obstacles, the social challenges, the mental challenges, the emotional challenges, the physical challenges, the challenges of being in college and life and being an adult, being out on your own and working with difficult people, like all this stuff. And all of that has to do with our skill set. And so there's a skill set, there's a mental skill set, a physical skill set, an emotional skill set, a social, spiritual, financial. I mean, it's a skill set for everything. And these youth, they're great youth, right? They're just underdeveloped and unprepared in those skill sets. And that's where we need to work. That needs to be a gigantic focus for all of us, on ourselves first, and then with our children and the youth we work with, is helping them develop the skill sets, or at least learning how to develop the skill sets. Like letting me know that's the case, right? And then helping them develop that skill set. So when they get there and they have a problem, they're facing something, a challenge, they can go, oh, it's a skill set. Like, what skill do I need to develop here so I can work through this problem? Or so I can avoid this problem, so it won't happen again. And if we don't prepare them, we don't help them develop those skills, again, we're doing them a gigantic disservice. And they're going into adult life totally unprepared with very limited skill sets, and they just can't handle what life is throwing at them. And it's getting complex, and it's challenging, and it's difficult, and it's changing. And they've got to be adaptable. They got to be on it and ready with all these skill sets, or at least the ability to improve skill sets and the mindset to do it, so that they're ready and prepared. So let's do those 4 things, you guys. Go after it, make it happen. Uh, it- and this is what I do. I love this stuff. You can tell I love this stuff. This is what I do. And I mentor youth, I mentor families. I have courses, live classes and trainings, recorded classes and trainings to help youth prepare for adult life, prepare to launch. I have specific classes for that. So check out the link below. Jump in those classes, take advantage of them. They're inspiring, they're fun, they're motivating. We'll laugh, we'll cry, tell amazing stories, read great books, have great discussions, connect with other awesome people to help youth prepare to launch into life successfully. And we have classes for parents too. So all of us as parents, and parenting classes just aren't for parents that are failing. They're for all of us, so we can level up our game and be extraordinary parents to prepare our youth for this really challenging and exciting future. You guys, awesome is always an option. Reach upward.